Hey guys, what's up? You're about to see this vlog. First, I want to go ahead and let you know Greenstalk is having a sale. They decided to do a flash sale. It's going to go through a few days, and I was just about to set up my Greenstalks. You can use my coupon code ROOTS10, which will bring the price of the original 5-tier Greenstalk down under $100, and I will put the link to that down below in the description. Let's watch this vlog. What is up, guys? I am so excited for today's video. My mom's here. We're getting ready to leave, but we're working on some different things. Maya's out here helping us, and we're working on what is going to be our first food growing effort on our new homestead, on our new Roots and Refuge Farm 2.0, our forever home here in South Carolina. Now, I've been sharing with you guys kind of the process that we have been in, just getting all of the spaces ready and getting like just the basic infrastructure in. You know, we moved this house in, and we have been working on the driveway. Has really been the focus the last couple of days, and just we had to get utilities out here. We've had to work on fences. And obviously, all of that ultimately goes towards growing food and setting up our home. But I haven't been able to put a seed in the soil. I haven't been able to plant anything other than the one tree we planted when we first got here. Hey, Mom. Hey. Essentially going to be kind of like a smallish tide me over garden here in front of our house. And this is a dual purpose thing. So it is true, I need a garden. We have learned this. I kind of knew it. I knew that the going without a garden was going to be really difficult for me, because it has been a massive part of my routine, a massive part of my habits. And I knew that in this move, the period of time without a garden would be difficult. But it's been so busy. We've been getting settled. It's only been a couple of months, but it has been hard. And this is in part for that. It's just to give me a garden to work on. We have grown so much of our food for so long, and I actually really didn't understand how much it was until we got here. Until I didn't have fresh herbs growing in my yard, and you know, for a good long while now, because we keep stuff growing year round, I could pretty much always go out and harvest something to go with dinner, to throw into a meal. Leafy things and herbs especially, like that was always available, and it is weird not to have that. So today we are starting what, I don't know what to call it, my little garden in front of my house, my mental health garden, my happy place, my little tide me over garden, I don't know. But the other purposes this is going to show, I hope, is for you guys just what you can do with a little space. I mean, this is not going to be a very large garden. It's going to be a handful of raised beds and some Greenstalk towers, and I'm going to grow a pretty good bit of food in it over the course of the next handful of months. Hey, Benny. Alright, so right off the front steps of my house, there's my little front porch. Now, I showed you guys the other day where we laid down cardboard, and I want to make some clarification here. So this is going to be flower beds. And if you can see here, there's this awning. We are going to put some gutters up. They don't have them now. So there will be like, I don't know, 12 to probably 18 inches of gravel up against the wall here. And we'll just put about 18 inches of gravel down, and then there will be soil, and we'll plant. You don't plant things right up on here, but this is also a pier and beam. It's brick skirting under this house, and there's vapor barrier behind it. And so we'll put gravel so that the soil doesn't wash out. And over here we've got the same, and there will probably be some contouring here, but there's going to be a gravel walkway, and then here on the other side of the gravel walkway I'm going to put in a small vegetable garden. Now, we've laid down cardboard, layers of cardboard, and Maya's about to hop on some equipment and move this mulch over and lay down a nice thick layer of wood chip mulch on top of this cardboard. Alright, as we go through and set up our farm and start developing all of these different garden areas and garden spaces, I want to share the process with you guys. And I want to tell you what we're doing. I want to tell you why we're doing it, so you can decide if that applies to your situation. So in this little area that I'm setting up in front of my house here, the idea for me in this is that I want to create a really manageable garden. This is going to be a couple of different types of raised beds that I got that are pre-made, and I'll share more about that with you guys later, as well as the Greenstalk planters. Now, for right now, this will serve the purpose of growing food for us this fall and into the winter. We're in zone 7B8, and it's very moderate here, so we can grow a lot of brassicas and stuff outside all winter with very minimal cover. We probably will only have to cover them up over some nights that are going to be kind of extreme. So now I'll be planting like salad greens and kale and potentially maybe some like cabbages, maybe some sweet peas, different things like that out here, and growing them to be able to have fresh food. In the future, however, we're putting in a lot of big gardens on this property, so we're going to be growing a lot of space. And either one, we will use this space as a small like herb garden, and I will set it up with all kinds of herbs to have close to the house, or I'll move the beds. And I might just take what beds are set up here and move them up to the big garden to keep it all consolidated close together and easier to care for. And because of that, I wanted to make a space that I didn't have excess maintenance on. Hence the cardboard and this mulch, which we're about to spread this out into a thinner layer. Now, because I'm putting this on the ground, a bunch of grass isn't going to grow up, and I'm not going to have to do a lot of like weed eating around these beds. It's going to be really simple. I can just walk into it and not have to maintain a lot. The reason I did that is to knock down the maintenance. If we had not had equipment here to do that, I probably would have just skipped that step. I had thought about maybe setting up a space out front here and putting gravel in it, but again, I'm not 100% sure that I want this to be permanent. And if I do decide to move these beds, these wood chips will just break down and can kind of be smeared out and sown with grass, and it'll just add to the soil here in the front yard. So when I get back from being out of town, we should have gravel up here, and the walkway will be in. Here are my green stalks. We weren't able to go get soil for up here yesterday like we had planned, so that's actually just put off probably until I get back and Maya can go. When we bring in the soil for the flower bed here, we will also bring in extra soil that I will fill these raised beds with. I'm really hoping, I'm just going to direct sow mostly with like the different leafy things and cool weather crops. And at the beginning of September, here where I live, that's about 8 weeks to our estimated first frost date, and so I can go ahead and direct sow a lot of things. Like I could sow root vegetables and the brassicas and the leafy things. The only thing that I probably won't have time to direct sow here in this case would be like Brussels sprouts. They tend to take a little bit longer, and so it's better if you can get those started. And in a lot of places, things like cabbages, things that need to head up, they might need to be started indoors earlier than this. I might try to direct sow some just to see what would happen, but I might not get anything from them. So Greenstalk, I shared with you guys back as we were getting ready to move. They actually contacted me before we moved, and they'd seen on my videos. I love working with brands that watch my videos and actually understand like my brand. It's just like really nice. It's nice to have actual relationship in promotions and stuff like that. It makes it feel a lot more organic and genuine when you actually know the people you're promoting and know the people who are promoting you. But they reached out to me and said, hey, we saw you're planning on moving your Greenstalks. We'd love to help you out and ship new Greenstalks to your house and give you one less thing to move. So I actually got to pay that forward and took my old Greenstalks to my mom's, and she's actually here, which is really funny. Like, I told her, I was like, how are you always involved with Greenstalk stuff? But she's grown a lot of stuff in her Greenstalk. She's had one for a while now. She has all my old ones too. And I've got some new ones that we're gonna open up. So we're gonna flatten this out, and we're gonna set these Greenstalks up. And Maya said he'll put it on the list. The list is long right now. He may start putting together some of my garden beds while I'm gone. I'm actually not 100% sure even think they told me what they were sending, but I wasn't picky at all. And I didn't even really care what colors they were. Oh yeah. Oh, this is nice. This matches my house. I think this is the stone. So this is the leaf planter. It's not as deep. And I am going to be setting these up and planting chard, kale, lettuce, essentially leafy things, hence the name leaf planter. You can obviously plant other things in these, but they're meant for things with lesser root systems. So I really like these for the stuff you grow when it's cold outside, like all the leafy things. All right, so I have 2 leaf planters. Oh, these are the movers that you put the wheels underneath, so that's cool. And I've also got some of the ultimate spinners that are coming. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys this. I'm just opening these boxes and figuring out what's in them with you guys because I haven't looked at them before. All right, so this is the depth of the original.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, I don't like that tone.
Yeah. I know you're all like super deep into garden thought, but I think you probably are missing the fact that you have to leave soon to fly back to Arkansas to get the last bit of our stuff, make the final trip. Did you forget?
No, I remembered, obviously. I remembered.
Plus,
I mean, I remembered.
Hey, I had a garden idea.
Depends on what the idea is.
Well, why don't you let me set up some of the green stalks while you're gone? I was like a surprise. Eek, I don't like that. That'd be like you coming to me and being like, hey, let me set these cabinets while you're gone. Or
why is that?
Because of time. I just don't see I don't think you're gonna have enough time. Maybe we can get one of these together, but I definitely can't get all of them before you have to leave.
I just want to grow a garden, okay?
Like, yeah.
All right, my plans are thwarted.
We can get one set up though. And then I can set
So we're spreading these wood chips out, and Maya feels like it would be better. It's gonna rain really hard tomorrow, and he thinks it would be better to not set these up before this has been rained on and settled. And he says he has an idea that he wants to surprise me with as far as setting up a base on this, because these are all gonna have wheels underneath them to make them spin around and like movers. And he's saying he wants to set something up. So what do I do with all this? I just made this big old mess. I just want to plant something. All right, I'm gonna go out of town and leave this to Maya to set up. He's gonna set up my green stalks. I do have lots of videos showing me setting up green stalks in the past. Maybe I'll find some green stalk stuff and link it. Or if you're on the fence about buying one, I do think it's a good option for growing small spaces. I'm gonna set up strawberries in some of them, and then leafy things in the others. And I'm gonna get those started.
Plus they look cool.
Soon. Yeah, they look cool. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go out of town and leave it to you.
Okay, you trust me. Remember that.
Thankfully for you guys, this video is going up later this week when I'll actually be back in town. So you don't have to wait until another video to see what it looks like after Maya's done. You actually get to see it right now. All right, guys, I'm back from Arkansas. You ready to see my green stalks? Sweet Maya. And here's Wes, our friend. You wanna say hi, Wes?
Hi, Wes.
They set these up. Check it out. So Maya took some cedar posts and screwed them together, so of course they're weather tight, and put them in and buried them down in this mulch to make a flat surface. And we ended up just putting the green stalks directly on these. We didn't even put the wheels underneath them, but they're really good to have if you got them on a porch or if you got them in an area where you're going to move them around. So I haven't planted anything in these yet. I actually got to get a little bit more soil. When you fill your green stalks, you really want to fill them all the way up to the top. And what happens a lot of times is you'll fill them all the way up to the top, and then like if it rains and stuff, the soil will settle. So what I do after they're filled up, if I have more space, is I come and just pile some soil in to each pocket. The other thing is if you're going to put started plants in them, you don't want to go all the way to the top, because you got to leave some room. Like once you start the plants, it's going to move the soil over when you put them in there. So here is my garden space. It's so windy out here. And I'm gonna put some raised beds in here. But how pretty is this? This is gonna be so nice. It's right off the gravel walkway up to the front, so I can come right out the front door and harvest these things. And I think this is gonna do my heart a lot of good. Here you can see the difference. I've got the leaf planters, the 7-tier leaf, and the 5-tier original. This is the one that's starting the sale through Labor Day weekend. And I'm planning on putting at least one of these with strawberries. I may go ahead and do both of them with strawberry. And then I'm doing some leafy things in here, but you can also, I've grown a lot of kale and lettuce in the original as well. And then these are great for in the spring, if you're gonna grow things like cucumbers or tomatoes, or even peppers that might have a little more root system, you can do them in those successfully. So I am so excited, and this week you're probably going to be seeing a good bit of this space over the next week or so. I got some trays and a soil blocker, and I'm going to start some seeds just outside. It's starting to cool off a little bit. It's still definitely getting warm in the day, and so I'm going to be starting some fall seeds. It's a little late, it's okay. And I'm gonna get these sown. Some of these I will go ahead and direct sow with seeds, and then I'm gonna start those fall seeds and just put the plants in. And if I can find started plants for fall crops, I may buy some and put them in here. But I've called around the nurseries here, and I actually looked in Arkansas too, because Jill and I were talking about it, and I was telling her some of the places where I would buy started plants for fall, and none of them had them either. I think it's been such a hot and dry summer that a lot of nurseries don't have brassicas in yet in a lot of cases. So I don't know if I'll be able to find started plants, but I'm hoping to get the green stalks fully planted, either in the green stalks or with seeds started, and then get my other raised beds in here and get soil in them. And I will actually have a garden. There's been a joke going around. If you're on our Facebook group, Friends Roots and Refuge, you might have seen it. And my cousin Amy and I have been joking because people post a picture and I'll be like, wow, your garden's so nice and big. I hope to have a garden like that someday, because I don't have a garden. And I told Amy, because this was her first year gardening, and I was like, well, your garden's bigger than mine. She was talking about how she wanted to add more beds and all that, and I'm like, well, it's bigger than mine. And it's been kind of this joke circulating about how everybody has a bigger garden than me. For a little while. I'm almost back in the game, guys. Almost got a garden again. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I love how Maya set these up. Got them in a nice straight line here on the back. Really anchors this. And I told him, I was like, I'm gonna impress you with how much food I grow in this little space. And I'm gonna impress you guys too. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. I bless you. Until next time.